All right, good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? What's going on, Genuine? Give it a moment for everyone to get in here, and we will get started. What's going on, Robert? How you guys doing? How was everyone's trading day yesterday? Joseph, Jesse, Andre. How is everyone doing? My apologies for not being here yesterday. On to today. Yep. All right, so we can get started here. If anyone has any questions, let me know. Challenge accounts at 3331, I believe, from 1,000. So, pretty solid return so far. Let's keep it up. We've been on a roll. So, SPY, right? Overall downtrend, right? Here's the 2-hour chart. Here is, right, larger time frame, right? If we take a look, right, every kind of pop that we get sells off, right? Pop, sell off, pop, sell off, pop, sell off, right? We're starting to create these higher lows, right? Higher low, but right, these lows are starting, we're getting a lot more higher lows, higher highs. I mean, lower highs. Oh my God, can't speak. Right, we're getting lower highs. And then if we zoom in a little bit, right, look, every single time we approach this 400 region, we kind of reject, right? 405 or so, right? Rejected here, rejected, right? We closed over for a bit, and then we rejected it again, right? Now we're creating lower highs, okay? Right, so now if we zoom in even more, right, we had this little wedge, we broke down, and now we're right back in this chop range. Right, so we have this huge resistance here around 400 and 401, okay? And we're rejecting before that, right? We're creating lower highs, meaning for now, the bears are still in control, okay? So if we can't break over this high, I think we push back down and see a test of 390 or so, right? But again, don't have a bias, be neutral when you're trading, and just play the levels. And that's really it. Morning, Ian, I have a lot of respect for you Thursday. Oh yeah, that was pretty annoying. Everyone was bothering me with Amazon when it was only down 30%. That's what happens though. People can't handle the red. And it's you're not going to win every trade, right? You're going to lose trades. It's impossible to not, and you have to be prepared. You have to know that going into the trade. If you don't expect to lose going into the trade, good luck, continuing day trading for a full-time job. It's because it's not going to work, right? If you're going into trades with the profit first mindset, you're going to lose. You can get lucky, you can, go on a run, but if you're going into trades with a profit first mindset, I wish you luck. It's as simple as that. So, going back to SPY, not my favorite setup. I really don't like that today. QQQ on the other hand, great setup, right? Very clean levels, right? Previous resistance, we rejected it again, finally broke over it, and now we're consolidating lower highs, higher lows, and we're at the bottom of this range, okay? If we break down here, looks like we're going to test a low of 305 or even 306. We'll see, right? We've been in a solid uptrend in the short-term view here, right? Uptrend, flag, uptrend, consolidation, right? So this is a continuation pattern, but we can see a pullback. Where do you get your levels from? Where do the candles? I just look back and see where the most touches are. It's literally as simple as that, right? Rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, right? This is a common level across the board, and it's going to act as a resistance or support in the future. Right. I've been day trading for the past, the past few months on like the 3 or 30 minute or the 1 hour. Right, I haven't even gone down to the 5 minute or even 15 minute or below. Just been looking at the higher time frames and doing that. So QQQ I'll watch today. If it can break down in this triangle, I'll consider a put, but I don't know. I'm just like not a fan of something here. I feel like if we break down, we might just get a fake out before a push to the upside. So we'll see what happens. IWM, not interested. All right, so let's get into the setups. NVIDIA, great setup here. Really like this. All right, this is a textbook setup. Right, we have a previous resistance, right? We get that final breakout, then we start to consolidate over it, right? This previous resistance now is acting as support, right? And we have a perfect flag, right? This is a great flag, right? Here's the flag pole, right? Then we have the consolidation, right? And then we typically will break out, push up to the resistance above, pull back, and continue to the high, right? That's how typically it will work, right? Sometimes it will do a little fake out, right? It'll pull down and then shoot up. Right, you have to be prepared for that, which means, right, you have to have a setup or a plan going into the trade. Okay? Right, if it does start to test this level here, right, how do you know if it's going to fake out or not? Right, we don't. Right, no one knows what's going to happen, but the same thing happens over and over again. Right, so if it dips, right, it'll typically dip down to the next level below, which is probably right in this zone here, right, around this resistance here. Around 261, right? It dips and then it shoots back up, and once it tests this level again, right, great area to enter long, right, with a stop loss below. That's how I would do it every time. If everyone could drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. But this is definitely my top watch today to go long. I know C Blast is in a swing trade. Great setup here. Definitely like this, especially if we're taking Friday contracts, we have time. But one thing I see a lot of people make a mistake on is just because you have time on the contracts does not mean you should hold it and hope for the best, right? If it breaks your level, if it breaks your stop loss and you have time on your contracts, just get out. You can always get back in, right? That's a huge thing that a lot of beginners will, a mistake that a lot of beginners will make. Okay. Right. Just because you have time on the contracts does not mean you should hold it. It's best to get out, be risk first, right? Not profit first. And you can always re-enter. Let me know if that makes sense. That's a key question I missed with Apple yesterday, trying to figure out if it was breaking down. Yep, right. So no one knows what's going to happen, but when you create a plan, you can have the, it's like counting cards, right? You have an edge. And the same thing happens over and over again, right? So once you start trading for long enough, it's hard to explain, but the same thing just happens over and over and over again, which is how people get better and better as they start trading. Here's Apple, right? Apple kind of has a triple bottom here, right? Lower highs. But we did, okay, so we're right over this level here, right? This previous resistance at 157.4, right? acted as a resistance again, right? We're consolidating right over it. So if this holds, it's a great area to go long, right? If it doesn't, we're going to push down to this next resistance below, right? Rejected once, twice, 3 times. I don't think we drop below 156. If we do, we got a lot more downside to go, 154. But I do think if we do drop down today on Apple, 156 holds, right? So this would be a potential good long opportunity, right? Because this is a pretty big level, right? Huge sell-off at these levels, right? So that means when we push down here, if we do, buyers are going to step in here. This is where they're going to, aim to go long, right? And most people, or the way institutions trade is they have their entries where the masses have their stops, right? So they're buying everyone's stop losses. Yeah, bullback. You're not going to win every trade. So as long as you're sizing correctly, right, you can manage losses. What's going on, Kevin? Good morning. Apple monthly bull plug. I mean, the monthly is totally irrelevant for a day trader, but yeah, that's an amazing chart. All right, so great for long term. Right, this is like a perfect falling wedge. All right, here's that. Here's this. All right, so it should push up to 180 or so. But this is the monthly chart. But that's a fantastic chart. But yeah, looks good. Apple will be on a high watch. Yep. It's great to just observe things. If you're, even, charting long term, you could totally do. BABA, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was. Let's see. Yeah, here. Lit Up plans to split its business into 6 independently run entities. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Cloud Chinese e-commerce, global e-commerce, digital mapping, food delivery, logistics, and media and entertainment. Wow. And then Alibaba Group will become a holding company overseen by current chairman and CEO or chief executive. Each entity can raise funds. Huh. That's interesting. It's up 10% right now. Wow. I mean, the chart was there, right? So we had this previous support, acted as a triple top, right? Consolidating below, and boom. Eric asked, curious to see your thought. Notice some plays would be given out to. So the risk management on my end is with my position sizing. Right. If you're willing, let's say you're willing to lose, $200 a trade, right? If you're not willing to lose more than $200 a trade, then and your trades can go down 50 or 70%, then size smaller, right? Let's say you're willing to lose 200, but your trades recently have been losing 300 to 400, right? Even if it goes down 50 to 70%, right? That means you need to size smaller. So if it does go down 50 or 70%, right, you can only be down $200. That's how it works, right? Especially zero DTEs, right? Trading options that expire the same day, they can go minus 70% to up 100% in a few minutes, right? That's why we're taking small positions, and that's why we can take that big percentage hit, right? They're very, very volatile, And that is why we could take that big percentage hit, right? But if I'm taking a long-term swing, no chance I'm holding down something down 70%. No chance, right? You know how long it would take to come back from that? It probably wouldn't come back, right? So long-term strategy is totally different than a short-term strategy. Okay. All right, so good question, Eric. Also, it's a challenge account, right? If I'm trading on my main account, I'm probably just going to exit and I could re-enter. But on a challenge account, if the setup still looks good, I'm still going to hold the position. Feds today? Really? Let's see. Oh, let me pull up the market, the economic calendar. See if we got any Fed speakers. So today is the 28th. We have consumer confidence in 44 minutes, so 10 o'clock. And then Barr speaks also at 10 o'clock. Interesting. Okay. Oh, yep. Totally get it, Eric. Nothing against me. Even if you do have something against me, I don't care. I don't care. I do this for you guys. I don't care if anyone thinks poorly of me. And again, trading, right? I trade full time. This is my full-time job. I do very well, thankfully. I don't need to be doing this. I do this because I wish someone else did this for me. Yeah, let's cover VIX. All right, here we go. Here's the 1 hour, right? We bounced off of this level a ton of times previously, around 20, right? And we're kind of creating these higher lows here, right? One low, a higher low, a higher low, right? So if this can hold, you know, a push up would be ideal for QQQ to drop and SPY to drop, right? That would make sense. But if this breaks and we test 20, right, then we need to see what happens at 20, right? 20 would be a huge level. Because if we break 20, then we're most likely going to rip out of the highs here. So that's VIX. Amazon kind of, right? So we have this rising wedge, right? We broke down perfectly. Now we have these lower highs, higher lows, and we're kind of, you know, we have a double top here, right off this level actually, right? This previous support turned into a double top. Now we're creating a lower high, right? So if this can break, we should push up, back up to a 101 or so. But if we reject here, right, we're most likely going to break down, right? It's also kind of a breakdown from a bear flag like this is typically bearish. I've seen it a million times. Yeah, how dare I not care about a random person's thoughts? Yeah, exactly. You got it, guys. You got it. Let's see. Right, so the big level here on Amazon is this 96.55 level. Right, if we break this, absolutely we're going to see more downside. Right, this level is huge across the board. Right, previous support, resistance, 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 support, support. Right, the more times we touch something, the more significant it is. Right, so if we break below this, we're going to see more downside. If we bounce, right, we're going to hold and probably shoot back up. Delete that box. Let's see what else we got. Microsoft looks great too, right? Bounced numerous times, but this is kind of, you know, a little bear flag here, right? If I inverse the chart, right, everyone's going to look to take this long, right? But this is opposite now, right? So we have a little falling wedge here. So I like, right, puts at the break of that level here. Around, what is that? Around 275.57 or so. 275.52. How does this candle look higher? But then, whatever. That's that level though. So that looks good, right? That's the inverse chart though, right? So we could definitely take puts there, but if it holds, right, I'd like to go long over 277 or so. Can you join the challenge account with $200 buying power? I mean, you could do whatever you want, right? Joining, there's no joining the challenge account. If you want to follow the trade, follow the trade, right? It's not like you need to enlist or enroll in the challenge to be able to trade, right? If I take a trade that fits your criteria, go ahead and take it, right? There's no joining. Yes, anyone's more than welcome to be part of it, right? I started with $1,000 and I'm alerting every single trade that I take on it. And that's as simple as that, right? I alert my entry, I alert my exit, and that's it, right? If you want to take it, right? No one else is in control of your account. You're the only person, right? You hit the enter, you hit the exit, and it's as simple as that. Okay. Tesla, right? Here is the flag, lower highs, higher lows, right? Looks great too. If we bounce here, we should push up to the top of the wedge. Yeah, just need to see how it reacts. This is just a typical bull flag here. Thoughts on BABA? Don't really care about it. There's no setup and we're gapping up, so I'm not going to trade it. I'm going to just even remove it. I don't care about it. Yeah, there's a Fed speaker at 10, Bar speaks at 10, but it's not as important as consumer confidence. Consumer confidence is more important. And that's at 10 too. Right, so notice the sentiment around, like notice the sentiment of the chat and the Discord when something gaps up, right? So for example, how everyone's asking about BABA, right? Because it creates a sense of FOMO. Oh, I could have caught this. I could have swung calls. Well, if you didn't, you didn't, right? So that's all hindsight, okay? Right, everyone always wants to catch the wave of the next thing, right? Need to find, you know, just a setup that works, right? Be risk first, as I always mention. NVIDIA, yeah, NVIDIA was the first thing that I covered. Looks great. NVIDIA and Apple are my favorite, and the Qs look pretty decent. Let's see what else we got. That's really all I'm looking at today so far. Meta doesn't look that good. Coins, No, I just use regular trading hours. But yeah, if SPY breaks down here, I like puts as of now, but we need to see what happens. Right, a lot of conflicting views, right? SPY, I think, looks bearish. QQQ, if it holds right here, I would consider going long. The video looks great to the upside if it holds, right? If not, then, you know, it's probably going to test 260 or so. Apple, right, looks great if it holds here, but if not, we have a lot of room to the downside. So we need to just see what happens at market open. Keep an eye on VIX. We also have data coming out at 10 a.m., so that's going to be a factor. All right. What questions does everyone have? Not a chart request, but if you have a question about trading, sizing, position sizing, risk management, your mental, you know, state while trading, you know, whatever it is, give me a question, I'll answer it. And if everyone could drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. We're at 57. If we can get to, you know, over 100, that'd be great. AMD, you know, we kind of have a flag here. Right, to go long, we would need to hold 95.43. A trigger to go to the upside is 97.53, right? If it breaks this, we should push up. Do I like to wait until after data? It depends, right? If there's a setup, I'm going to take it, but I'm going to be careful and cautious of the data coming out, right? Meaning reduce my position size, and make sure you have an understanding of what can happen, right? You can lose 100% of your position. If you trade Webull, do you have to cancel your stop loss before you sell? Yeah, so if you have a stop loss in place and it's right, let's say the stock is at, or the options at 1 or 100, and you have a stop loss at 65, and you want to go ahead and sell at 75, right? You need to cancel that because you technically have an open order, and then you can go ahead and place a stop. BT Cloud, you just type in BT Cloud. And that's it, right? Indicators, BT Cloud by CBlast BT. Your risk management's poor, you lose more than you win. You just got to keep trading, right? That's the name of the game. Right? The best way to learn is by actually doing it. Yep, stock settings, it's just there's really nothing to change anyway. Your number of winning trades is high, but your amount of losses on a smaller number of losses is much higher. Just keep going, right? It's the process of trading, right? Pretty much everyone loses in the beginning. I've never seen a story of just someone starting trading and they just win, right? That's probably the worst, because then it builds confidence that shouldn't really be there. Right? Those early winning streaks are kind of like detrimental to someone's trading game. After you're up for the day, you end up giving it back on the next play, right? So there you go. You kind of answered your own question, right? After you're up, just stop trading, right? There's a sense of FOMO that you have then, right? There's a sense of, you want to make more. Just be happy with what you made. Market opens here in 2 minutes. Let's transition over to the Discord and catch up with all the other analysts. If you can drop a like on the video before you head out, I would appreciate it. And I will see you in the Discord, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.